These are the 5-foot wheels on my diamond wire saw that we'll be replacing because they've got some corrosion where the steel meets the aluminum outer ring, and the aluminum outer ring is a bit worn that holds in the rubber liners. So I'll show you the adapter that I've made to attach the new wheels that I've got from China. They're 1550 millimeter solid piece cast aluminum wheels, and they'll be replacing these ones. So I'll show you the adapter that I'm going to use and a bit of close-up of the corrosion and the wear on these wheels. Here's a good example of the corrosion that you can see here, where the aluminum started to corrode first because of this dissimilar metals. That's one reason why I want to replace these. Another reason why I want to replace these, you can see this side here is worn, and it's no longer really holding these liners in very well compared to the, you can tell the width of this side here compared to this side. These are the 1550 millimeter diamond wire saw wheels that I purchased from China from Hercules Abrasives. This is the crate that came in. To give you an idea of how they are shipped from China. And about to uncrate it and put them on the saw. These are the adapter plates that I had made. They are made out of 2 pieces of metal. This was originally a 4.5 inch solid round, and this is a 1/2 inch plate. See here in the back where they've been welded together. This was machined down to 80 millimeters. And then the bore is 3 inches, 3.15 inches to hold this keyless bushing right here. And this keyless bushing works as you tighten these down. It clamps the shaft as well as expanding against the inside of here, so it holds this to the shaft. And then my new wheels will then bolt here to this adapter. Over here, and I'll show you, I've got one partially installed. This is on the saw, and when you do this, you got to make sure you get the slit opposite the keyway if your shafts have keyway, and you want to bolt over the keyway. So I've got to adjust this just slightly to get the bolt perfectly centered, and then I'll remove these bolts, which are just there for installation, and then torque these to the proper torque, and then we're all set to bolt on the big wheel. So here it is, all installed with the B-loc 103 keyless bushing. So all these numbers are my attempt to calculate the holding torque required for the keyless bushing. So the big pulley's model has a solid disc weighing 330 pounds, running on an RPM of 440, and that's decelerated over 2 seconds using the braking in the VFD. And all that comes out to about 740 foot-pounds that's required. And so if we look at the specs on the keyless bushing, it has over 1,700 foot-pounds of holding torque, so it should be good. Okay, here's a close-up of the wheel with the keyless bushing installed in the hub. You can see here I've marked some paint on it just to make sure that there's no movement, and I'm about to test it out. Okay, now we're spinning at about 61 hertz. This is the normal cutting speed for granite. Take a look. And so far so good. I don't think there's been any movement. I'll try again. Okay, now we're spinning at 70 hertz. See what happens. Again, there doesn't appear to be any movement from the paint. Of course, it would help if my lines were all in a straight line, but it doesn't look like anything's moved. So everything wasn't perfect. There was a problem you can see in this clip here. If you look close in the bottom left, you can see some vibration. I didn't design the big plate that goes on the front well enough. I should have made it so it was centered by the hub, so it doesn't quite center itself, and that leads to an imbalance, and the wheels from China were not balanced as well. I had to, well, one of them was out of balance, so I had to balance it. I'll make a video on that, on how to balance it, and I've since gone back and fixed up that center plate so that it now centers itself better. I also had problems with some run out. They told me that the wheels would be plus or minus 1 millimeter, and you can see here that's not the case. It's more like plus or minus 3 millimeters. However, overall, the wheels are working quite well. So that's it for the saw today. Thanks for watching.
What the? Oh, Craig's got a new video. So glad I subscribed.